light, I look pale. Hey. Hey, man.
What's up, dude?
Not much.
Man, we got a critical audience tonight, or today, this morning, because I don't know what time it is. Fucking everyone's ripping us for the time. All right, sorry, folks. 9 minutes late.
Yeah, I know. We got some text messages rolling in. I was just saying, I don't know if you guys overheard me, but kind of look pasty. I need a light.
Doing it front ways.
Yeah, there was,
I only have edition 1. Luke's got 8 different iterations.
We can go through my collection if you want. The newest order should drop soon.
Oh my god!
Don't tell anybody. I got a lot of hats. Okay, this one's cool. It's got the Super Bowl logo.
What if we started wearing Stetsons on this thing?
That'd be sick, but we have to get the earbuds.
Yeah,
I wanted to get rid of these.
Stetson has an Eagles hat.
Yeah, let's do that next week because we're cowboy hats, Stetson hats. You have to borrow one of mine since you don't have any. You do, right?
No, I don't have one anymore.
No,
I got one at a yard sale when I was 15. We ran around the neighborhood.
You walked around the neighborhood with a hat on.
Yeah, what was your goal? We were sheriffs. We carried the airsoft guns.
Jesus Christ. You know, you'd go to prison now.
Oh yeah, I know. Isn't it crazy?
If they saw you there, somebody would run you down with a car, and rightfully so, I think.
Intros, dude.
Yeah, guys. You want to go first, man?
No.
Luke Lombardi, Nobo Podcast. The channel's evolving. You know, we're changing, new things to come.
Pause.
CrossFit, yeah.
Hot take first.
Hot take, okay. I had one. Do you have one?
That was your week.
Yeah, it's my week. Apparently, we've talked about this before. I don't know if we have a hot take on it, though. But college is bullshit.
All right. Intros.
Have we talked about that?
Intros, dude.
Yeah. Luke Lombardi, Nobo Podcast. This is, we're dropping episode 9 or 8 right now. CrossFit level 3 coach. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah.
And I love, sales.
I'm Matt. I am, co-host of here, the fine Nobo Podcast. I've got the coffee flowing, and I am a CrossFit level 3 trainer, CrossFit affiliate owner, and a builder of many sorts. My latest build is going to be in 3D printing. So if you need prints, let us know. Nobo print shop. But yeah, man, how's it going?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Sunday. It's going, man. I've just been tired lately, grinding, finding
I'm off
rhythm.
to a real shitty start.
Why?
Well, see, I went to check my tank parameters. Nitrates were 38
this morning.
Yep.
I checked
after a water because I'm trying to bring it down. For those that don't know, that's not a good number to have.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do a lot of work there. But
so I'm wondering what you think. Should I just do like a 50% change?
You just did that.
No, I just did a 20. Well, yeah, but before that I did a 50.
Yeah, I think you just let it chill.
Chill at 40 nitrates.
Yeah, you can't do that fucking drastic of a drop, dude.
But then I realized when I did the water change last night, I forgot to turn the heater back on. So the tank is at 66 degrees. Then I went to make a coffee and the espresso machine disconnected. That's how I found out that there was an update. It's been a morning, dude.
Morning. I know. I was sitting here and I didn't think you were coming. I've been in the thing since 8 a.m. So for us to debrief.
Oh, I saw you. I saw you post the Instagram stuff and I was like, I should stay up early. Yeah, this guy's got tech issues now.
Yeah. What's going on? I don't even know how to fix
what
it.
What camera is this?
It's my Logitech streaming camera. We're fucked.
Put your finger real close, let it focus on it, and slowly back it up. Yeah. Is there dirt on it? Did you touch it?
It's fucked. I didn't touch it. There's no fixing it. I don't know what it's even focused on. This just happens,
Try just covering it completely.
Yeah, we're good. It found me.
Okay.
It found me. Technology
You know,
is just,
You were interested. I can't. I was like going to try to show you the camera that I have, but you've got it. It's got the ring light built in.
yeah, those are junk. I'm gonna get myself like at some point upgrade some Logitech gear over here.
But if we're updating the cams, we got to pay for the higher subscription on this StreamYards.
Yeah, I agree. We might as well if we can get some people watching this shit.
Yeah,
It'd be more incentivizing.
that's true.
Are you on Instagram? Anybody watching there?
And Nick 159 joined. I don't know who that is.
Is that Nick?
Yeah, I think he left.
Of course he did. He saw it was fucking us, and he's gone. Sam either.
Not yet.
That's all right.
On those beat.
That's all right. So tell me what else is new, man. Where have we left off last week? We had a lot of good shit.
I don't know. I'm looking at my studio, and like I just realized there's nothing in here.
Yeah, it's
like you can't see the fish tank because it's over there. You can't see
me
the guitars.
Trill were discussing
it's just a floor.
2 weeks ago. We just couldn't understand. You have the bigger office, and I had the smaller bedroom. We were just like, why couldn't Luke have the bigger bedroom, and everybody had this other office? But
I thought you wanted that one.
I probably would have slept better without like the neighbors right there.
I mean, you could have had whichever one you wanted.
Trill said that this was your office, that you demanded. It was like a demand and cease type thing. So.
Also, we had 2 people in here working.
Yeah, that's also true.
Ken and Sam joined the IG Live. What up, kids? With Nick. Nick, how's your biceps, dude? He texted me saying he couldn't move his arms.
From what?
That because he did the wall ball pull up clean thing on Friday on Thursday.
Yeah, and he basically does like a barbell curl.
Yeah,
with his power cleans.
Well, he doesn't like to use his legs. Sam yells at him all the time.
Yeah. A lot of shit going on this week for you.
Yeah, you too.
You're off all week. I'm working. You got your boy Rico coming into town. Are we gonna have a special guest on the podcast next week? No, he'll be gone.
Yeah, he'll be gone unless we do a special episode on Friday.
In the middle of the week. Yeah, we could do that. Oh no, he leaves on Friday.
Or on Tuesday. We could have him and Vince. Special episode Friday.
It'd have to be a nighttime show. I work. Don't forget.
Yeah. Oh shit.
And Vince doesn't come until. And Vince is coming, guys. Vince is back in town. I know we haven't seen him on the episode since last season.
Yeah, this is true.
He's not a fan of the Nobo podcast anymore.
I send him the links.
Yeah. What else have we been talking about? We've been chatting that potentially should the name of the show change? Like, are we doing that? Are we just changing the logos? Like, talk.
I like the name, unless you don't like it anymore.
Nah, Nobo.
I kind of think it fits nice. No boundaries.
Yeah, just talk about whatever the fuck.
We want.
Should we jump into
that hot take?
Go ahead. College.
I can't disagree with it. I went to college.
Bullshit. Well, did we talk about this before?
Maybe in like ancient Nobo history, season 1, episode 2.
Ken's staring at me. I don't know. She's our IT director at this point, or social media director.
Yeah,
and she's pissed about something. College.
I gave her chief marketing officer.
She's the CMO.
Yeah.
Well, college is bullshit. And the reason I say that, I don't know what.
I always forget that you also tried to go to school.
Yeah, I tried. It was peer pressure, the community. I just remember, so
I feel for both you and Eric because you guys were ahead of the curve and you knew ahead of time that it wasn't for you, but you both did it anyway.
Because we were pushed into it.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. Like, I can't blame anybody else, but
just society, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, so going to high school. I think
this happens to more kids than we'd like to.
Well,
admit.
I think it happens.
I think a lot of kids are lost because they don't know what to do with themselves. So then that leaves the only option of school. But they always forget the financial price tag that comes with that thing.
And it gets worse.
Wrapped in loans and shit.
Do you know the big piece? Like, for me, there was a turning factor, I guess, in like that everybody else has. And it was, did you have college day in high school where it was like decision day or some shit?
I don't think. I mean, we went to the same high school, but I don't know if we had that or not.
We had, I know you definitely had to, but it was like everybody wore their university of their choice shirt, like they represented it, everybody on the same day, and it was
We did
like,
not have that, dude.
yeah, like such a toxic thing. Like and like people would talk to each other, like, oh, dude, you're going to James Madison University, you're going to Villanova, you're going to Temple, and like we got a cult of Temple kids. You got a group of kids doing this, and like then you get the outliers where like there's one person going to like North Dakota University, and then you got like one person going to the University of Iowa. And like those were the outliers. And then you had the group of people that like didn't have a shirt because they weren't going to college. But the thing out of everybody's mouth because of like the peer pressure and the judgment from everybody, like the common response was like, I don't know yet. I'm still deciding. And then you come up with like all these different scenarios. Like, I might go here. I might do this. I might do that. I'm not sure yet. I might take a year off. I might take a few months off and go in the next semester. And like the look you would get from kids was just like, wow. No
Also,
wonder it's fucked up.
why is that like not a like more appreciated answer? Like take a year off. Like you think about it. You've been literally going to school for 12 fucking years straight.
Yeah.
Like I feel like a year off would be maybe 2.
I think most countries take time off. Right? Like I think in like most of the people in like Australia and like the UK and European countries, like how many people in SB are from like, wasn't it like a huge Russian population at one point?
Yeah.
Like I remember walking downtown and just like so many people didn't speak English and it was some like Eastern European language. Yeah. And they were like taking a year off or like doing some travel before things took off.
Yeah.
I just think that's college. I don't think it's bullshit for everybody.
Yeah. So let's dig into that. I think if you know what you're doing, you really know what you're doing,
and it's necessary for you to go get an education. Like there are things you can learn in life from mentors versus like a doctorate or a nurse, like a lawyer. You got to go to school because there needs to be some sort of standard to it, right?
I don't know. I really don't know, dude. I bet you there's someone that's probably a really fucking good doctor. They can't afford school and like therefore like you're missing out on someone that could like, you know, save your life with some procedure because they're just not a doctor now.
That's different. Like so that's the other side behind it. Like college is bullshit in the sense of like education should not cost fucking $70,000 a year. And on top of that, you have an 11% interest rate because you couldn't get federal loans. And now you have Sallie Mae private loans. And now you're paying 100 G's a year and it just continues to grow and you're going to be in school for 8 years. And then you get out and it's like, oh, here's your house, your mortgage payment. You have a $3,800 payment for a school and your job is only paying you 100 G's because you're brand new and you got to put your time in.
What was your school journey like?
It was atrocious. Like,
all right. So you graduate high school.
Yeah. Graduate high school. Took time off, right? And then
I don't know, you tell me.
Yeah, I didn't go to school right away.
What was the thinking there? So what happens right after you graduated high school?
I think I took a whole year off. I had shoulder surgery immediately after I graduated again.
What were you thinking though, right? Graduating high school, what did you want to do with your life?
I was really into tennis for that chunk of time. So like for me going to college was like, okay, I'm going to either go to college or like, can I play somewhere? And then I got injured and then surgery and then coaches changes. And I went in a direction where it was like, okay, I have 2 routes. Like I didn't apply.
Were you working at this point?
Yeah, I was always in the restaurant and then doing stuff. But that was also like a weird shift. I was having like a lot, like the shoulder problems and like the restaurant was burning me out. So then I went and worked at like Vecchia and fucking made Italian pizzas like 4 to 5 times a week and couldn't work out, or I could have, but at the time it wasn't educated or didn't have the tools to be like, all right, well, my shoulder is torn, just had surgery, I'm in a sling, I can't do anything. So I kind of just had to bounce around. I think I was working at Vecchia and the restaurant on like certain days.
So this year off, what'd you do? Was it just work?
Yeah. I just
did any self-exploration.
Yeah, no. I mean, I traveled. I think I went to Europe for like 2 weeks that summer.
Oh yeah.
And then I had shoulder surgery in the fall. I think how it went.
Had a younger girlfriend, right?
Yeah. And we traveled.
So she was still in school?
Yeah, she was still in school. I just graduated. I think she was going into her senior year. And then traveled, got some life experience, but that was something like I always did. Like I would come visit you and we would go travel the whole, like I guess the West Coast, right? Like I was young, I was still in high school.
Here's something interesting to think about. Do you think the younger girlfriend, I want to say, held you back, but kept you in a certain time frame?
Maybe.
Like,
Yeah,
you know what I
maybe.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
like she's still in high school, so it's like she's not pursuing college, which doesn't push you. Also, like there's the high school shit that happened, like prom, right? Like now you're going to
Yeah.
prom again and
Yep.
things like that.
Yeah, I was gonna just
Or
bring that
whatever
up. So that was like a
dance.
third year, third time going to prom, and the issue with that, or I just felt like, I don't care who you are, you're gonna feel insecure.
Yeah.
You can have the best direction that you're going, unless you're making a crap ton of money. Like the first thing people say to you when they see you again is like, "What are you doing? What's your career? What's your job? How's this? How's that?" And it just makes you feel like shit. Like when you we'll dig into it in a second, but like I think I can relate that to like, hey, when you get laid off from a job, people feel like they did something wrong.
Yeah.
Like it's their fault. They fucked up. They did something terrible. But yeah, going to prom, that was definitely like a deflating feeling. Was like, I see all these people, I'm not doing anything, and like I don't have an excuse, I don't have a reason, and I feel like I need that. But then again,
All right,
yeah,
so
like,
you're off, you're coasting, got the
yeah,
girlfriend, just doing
doing
normal
kind of
life
whatever,
shit,
yeah,
work, girlfriend,
yeah,
for recovering, sounds
yeah,
like.
yeah, recovering,
The
not
shoulder stuff.
healthy,
Yeah,
gaining
yeah.
weight, not doing much, and
That's right. The pizza
yeah,
fade,
but I
pizza
don't
Luke.
think that lasted long because I think eventually, I think I went to community college pretty
You did,
soon into
Monaco.
that. Yeah, I think I started in the winters. I started in January. So it was
So
like a
what
6.
encouraged that decision?
I think just like peer pressure of like I feel like I'm doing nothing. I don't have any guidance. I need to figure something out. I was like
Also, can you identify the pushers, I guess, for lack of a better word? Like who were the people that were kind of like little voice on your head that was like telling you to do that kind of stuff?
just society. I think social
Or
media
like
is toxic.
family?
No family. I mean, people
How
like
about how about the girlfriend's family?
Yeah, definitely big like that. I need to go. You're not going to get anywhere unless you have a college education. This, and this, and it was just like for me getting like, and I struggle with this to this day. Is like I can't wrap my head around the idea of spending massive amounts of money on things that I have zero like desire for. Essentially,
Yeah.
like
And also at that time, weren't you big on photography?
yeah.
Right
So
around
I
there?
was gonna go to like University of the Arts in Philly, and that like tab was like $8,200 or $82,000 a year, and it was like plus living in the city or commuting. It's like that's atrocious. And like, what are you gonna make being a photographer unless you're like a bomb ass like videographer that goes and works in Hollywood? Like you ain't making much money, I don't think. And like
Yeah.
you do, there are going to be people that make a lot, but it's difficult, right?
Yeah. So you're about half a year in. You got
Is this the
no
Luke interview?
direction. Huh?
We're interviewing, man.
I just try to practice my skills too
Yeah,
on that
let's hear
and
it.
ask
Let's
better
hear it.
questions. So you're a year in. You have no idea what to do. Well, actually, no, that's not true. So it sounds like you do have some idea of what you enjoy right now. You're chasing the photography. I know we've hung out. We were both doing it at the same time. It's like one of our hobbies. We've talked about this on the show before.
Yeah.
You're doing photography, pretty extensive, and then you have these people like your girlfriend's mother who is really just pushing like photography school on you. I know you looked at like the Brooks Institute here in SB, but again, I think that's where I kind of go back to this girlfriend being in high school still. Like, I don't think you were ready to like do anything that drastic at this point.
Yeah.
Does that sound fair?
That sounds fair. Yeah. I would say like, I feel like anybody that pushing Luke to go to college was like a very, I don't want to say it was a negative, like there was no harm meant behind it. It was just like, hey, this is my belief. And like, I've seen quote unquote success this way. I don't know. I don't think it was bad. I think anybody getting like, removing it from like an interview on me, I think the takeaway for really anybody else is like, you got to listen to yourself. You got to do what you believe in. Like, I think a big thing was like, don't listen to people around you because you don't feel like you have the experience to make that decision. I think
well,
that was like one
let's
of the
go to
biggest
let's go to
takeaways.
decision day. So you roll up. So at some point, can you remember this at all? Like, when were you like, all right, I'm going to go register for Monaco?
It was just like I got the tab for all these other universities to do shit at photography, Portland State, whatever. And it was just like, I'm not spending that much money for something like really deep down. I know like a lot of people go to college because they're like, yeah, fuck it. I don't care. It's going to be a great experience. I'm going to travel. I'm going to move away from home. I'm going to learn a lot. I'm going to make money when I get out of college. Like it's going to prepare me for the world. And I was the type of person like deep down, I was just like, I need to be prepared for the world by just fucking doing it. Like, throw me in there. Let me learn. Let me go do that. And like, and I think that's just kind of like the theme of how I've just done everything in my life. And I think I embrace that because it's such a powerful tool or such a powerful experience. Throwing yourself out there to just try things like you don't know until you know. And I think that was the piece there was
so
like,
you were kind of looking at, I'm going to try college.
Yeah. I think that's kind of where it went was like, this is the cheapest route. And it was not for a community college. It's not cheap. I'll put it there. Like I was an in-state resident. I just wasn't in-county resident. So it was like either Monco or whatever the other one was. And I went Monco, which I'm an out of resident registrant or whatever you would call it. And it ended up being like a lot of fucking money for the year and a half.
Like 10 miles from your house.
Yeah, it was nuts. It was like, it ended up being like per credit, a lot of money, like a couple thousand per credit.
Yeah.
And
all right. So day one, you roll up, it's enrollment time. Like, what are you thinking? Can you remember that?
It's like, what the fuck am I doing this for? But
yeah, I would assume like, are you like when you're trying to pick classes, I would assume that would be
difficult. Such a like, it's difficult and like stressful. And like, nobody had guidance for me. Like I would add like my family wasn't like Sarah was the only one that went to university and everybody else, there was like nobody to go to for guidance. Like, I don't even remember if I came to you for it.
And she's so interesting because like, for those that don't know Sarah, like she knew what she knew she was a caretaker. And I think she knew what she wanted to do or had a clearer picture, way clearer picture than you.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Like I'm the type of person that would be like, I love traveling. Like maybe I should be a pilot.
Yeah. And then you're like 3 weeks into the pilot training. You're like, I don't fucking like this.
Yeah. Like, I don't, this is me.
Or like the photography thing, right? Like we really want it to be
we'll call landscape, it
like travel photographers, but then like, you know, to score that deal is like such a 1 in a million shot, like to land a magazine or whatever it is, an internet blog.
And a magazine is probably not even that big.
So then you start picking apart of like, all right, well, I like taking pictures. Like how else can I make money? And you go down like the wedding photography route and you're just like, you do that. You do like engagement photos once or twice. And like, I'm sure you had the same realization as me is like, I don't like doing this, like going through the pictures of, and that's no offense to the people that I taken pictures of, but it's just like going through those photos. You're just like, I don't enjoy, like compared to when we were going through like our Yosemite photos, like I got so much joy out of like, oh wow, like this looks so epic. With people, I just don't get that vibe. So it was just like the making money aspect of the hobby just kind of killed it.
Yeah. So I'd be curious, like, again, removing it from an interview on me, how would you, like anybody else out there listening, like we have, like, I know there's a few people that listen, like we know like some of our friends that listen and they all have very different careers. And I did like very curious how they got to there. Like one of our friends owns an electricity company or like he's an electrician. Right. And it's like, I would love to know, like, how did he get there? Was it a family thing? Was it something that he was just like, hey, I'm going to do this because like, this is fucking cool.
He's not just an electrician though. He's also a business.
So an entrepreneur. Business, yeah. I don't mean any like discredit there. It's more of just like, we have other friends like nurses, police officers. We have coaches, business owners, construction workers, like so many people around us that all do different things. And I just think about like my job, for example, like the sales job. And that is the job. Like you go ask anybody and everybody else had a different career before coming to this.
Where's Trill at? I mean, she should chime in. She's kind of the same as you. Like she just ended up in a career that I don't think she ever planned on.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's part of like, I think all of these careers at some point, there's got to be a piece of you that makes sense. Like we don't end up anywhere and stay there.
Unless like for my career, I could totally see the lines.
Yeah.
Like I'm still building things. It's just virtual.
Yeah. And you're around music and you're doing things that are like,
but that's just company. But like the purpose of my job is like I build shit. It's just not what I'm used to of like using your hands to actually build something.
Yeah. So again, make it a podcast where we can give back, you know, people listening can gain something or feel something. It's like, what do you think Well, like if you had to give advice, right? You coach people. What advice or like what would be something that you would put out there to be like on the hot take? I guess I don't know. Keep it broad.
Honestly, like it's pretty obvious. I would recommend not going to school. I would even push it so far to say, even if you think that's the right choice at the time, I would say don't do it. I would say take up to 3 years.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I would definitely recommend, like, if it was my kid, I'm giving advice to, like, you should definitely have a job. Doesn't have to be super high paying, but something that gives you income.
Allows you to try things.
Try things like move in with some friends or like, travel the world a little bit. But I don't even want to push like traveling so much or like world experience. Like I think those are things that can come into your camera, dude.
Maybe that's
for those just listening. Luke's camera just can't focus on him.
I'm opening up the Logitech hub. That might work.
But like, I think like travel is like a Gen Z or like a millennial thing that gets pushed, especially on social media. And like, it creates this false sense of like, you need to go travel the world. And this is not a slight against you, Luke. I know you like travel, but I don't think it's for everybody. But I do think like you need to try a bunch of shit when you're in that phase, like get a million different hobbies. Like hobbies only get expensive the deeper you go in them. But like to start most hobbies, it's pretty fucking cheap. Like if I was going to use like the fish keeping, right? You don't need this multi-$1,000 setup. You can literally just have a glass box with some salt water and a pump and a heater, and that you could start like that
and hang on the back filter
under $100. And maybe this develops into like you realize you love fucking the ocean and biology and shit like that, and maybe that develops into something else. But like I would say like try to get into as many hobbies, many things as you possibly can when you're young, and just see what sticks, what doesn't.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's super valid. I think that's really cool too. I think it goes into a whole different piece.
Yeah. Like I remember younger when I got laid off. I mean, we were friends then. Like I remember really wanting to help change the world to some degree, but I didn't know how. And like I would throw things out like, Luke, I'm going to join the Peace Corps. But like that's a fucking commitment. That's volunteer. You're living in like the sticks. And like I'm sure that would be an epic and amazing experience.
Yeah. But for everything else you want in your life, do you think that's the right route?
Yeah, I don't know. That could have been a cool route, but I didn't go that route. And like, I somehow landed CrossFit, and it's like I really see like the value of like I have the chance, and I mean it's happening in front of me. Like I am changing people's lives for the better, even if it's on a small scale. Like you got to think big picture. Like we could be inspiring people to be coaches. We could inspire people to pass the knowledge that they learned from CrossFit onto their kids, and that could spread like that. Like, the change might seem small, but it could grow, like the butterfly effect. So, but I would have never like in that time when I was younger, I would have never been like, oh, a CrossFit coach, it could change the world. Like, I would have never drew that.
So your advice to really anybody else, or like two things. Let's first, before you answer this question, what would you say is like young age-wise? What age? So, but like when would you say
in my opinion, but I'm a guy. I think girls probably can get away with it a little bit younger because I always feel like they mature faster than us boys.
But I would say like you can continue to do this shit, like continue to explore things in life, I think deep into your 30s.
Yeah. I mean, that's a whole separate topic of complacency.
But so the thing I wanted, like, what advice would your advice to sum it up, like what I'm hearing is like, hey, give everybody, like, go out there. Don't be afraid to try things. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to, like, you got to explore things for you to be able to grow, essentially. Right.
I just don't think you need to go to college right away. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
It's like if you're the Sarah scenario, yes. Like, what you want to do, this is it, you're going to be happy there. Like, do that, go to school, get whatever you need to do the career. Like, nursing, you can't just be a nurse. You have to get this license, whatever.
Yeah. I dig it, dude. I dig it. Dig it. That's the hot take. College is bullshit. We both agree. I feel like we've agreed on every hot take that we listen or talk about. So
we're similar. We need people from the audience to call,
and argue us. It just makes it better. Like, fucking say something in here, man.
Ken, don't call up. You're going. She wants to go for her master's degree or whatever it is.
She's not even listening, probably. What else you got? So we just did hot take. Where's this go now? I forget our script.
Eagles. Did you hear
Eagles,
anything?
the Birds. Yeah, there's just something on ESPN. The usual debate, like how these guys have a career, is like they ain't the team anymore. There's nothing to worry about with the Eagles. They're not a contender. Like the talk of the town is like we're gonna be 8-8 next year and not make it to the fucking wild card or playoffs. And it's like they're not a team that you worry about when you play or they're on your schedule. That's the talk now.
What's going on with Jason? Has anything official been released?
I don't think so. No, I don't think anything official about any of that. It's just like all the talk about like the Super Bowl parade and everybody being drunk. And
yeah, I don't really understand the draft. Like it seems like, it doesn't, like the number 1 seed doesn't necessarily matter. Like, I mean, Purdy was what, like
the last one,
like the last QB pick.
It's really just like how you perform. I think a part of it is like whatever university you went to, and like to keep it to the Eagles, like Hurts was like cut from his university. I don't remember the whole backstory, but like he went to a different school, got cut, and then went to Alabama, right? Something like that. And then like he didn't even play in the final game. They put Miami's quarterback in, and like Hurts didn't get as much credit. And even to this day, like people shit talk him because like I don't know, there's just too much fucking talk out there in the world about sports, and everybody's got their strong opinions, and everybody thinks that they're better than like everything happening. And it's like, man, you just wish that like every day was a performance day. I understand you're getting paid $25 million a game, but it's like it just doesn't work that way. It doesn't matter. Like, and that's what even these owners are saying. So I saw a press conference last night with the Dallas Cowboys owner. And he was like, what's his name? Jerry something. And they were asking about Dak Prescott. And like, if he's gone, he's like, to this day, we will go as far as Dak takes us. And that is as far as we're going. Like, and that's that. Like, I have no difference on him. I have no change. Like, we didn't make it, but we made it damn fucking far. And it's like, they still have their money on like those guys. It's like, you got to respect those people. It's like if Tom Brady had a bad game, do you think they were just like, this fucking guy? You got to cut him. But no, aside from that, I haven't heard anything on the draft. I don't understand it. It's just like, hey, again, it just goes to that whole college thing. Yeah. It's like, this guy went to a prestigious school, like not as great as a football school. Like if you go to a fucking great football school, it's like the scouts during that time did the right work. Like they did the hard work. They did the heavy lifting. Now we just got to pick and choose who we want. And it's like, this is where the money is. And they get this rookie contract of like, you get out of school and you're making $500K doing nothing besides practicing with them.
Yeah.
And doing preseason and get beat up.
On a CrossFit, dude. Remember, if you're on fucking Instagram Live, send us a comment. Like, this is like a live audience show. We're trying to explain this to Chris because we're trying to make this like a live show.
Yeah, we used to do it at the end, and now like call in, chat. I mean, I'm not on Instagram. We used to
just spam the link on text message.
Yeah, I mean, live stream on YouTube, 0 comments. Instagram.
I might just bite the bullet and get a phone number linked to my personal number and just throw it up here.
Yeah, I mean, you can always change your personal number.
Yeah,
to something else. We've talked about that. I'm starting to like almost remember your phone number. So
thanks, dude.
I had to put you on like a lot of emergency contacts for my trip coming up, but
yours is 610.
Yeah,
that's all I remember.
I appreciate it.
You have a weird number because the next 3 digits after your area code are weird, aren't they?
It's like another area code
or something.
Yeah, it feels like another area code.
It's weird. It's not like a 4 or a yeah.
I guess basically every first 3 digits and the second 3 digits could be an area code. I'm pretty sure they are. Like yours are. But
CrossFit, dude.
Yeah.
What do you got for us, man? You wanted to
I was thinking like let's stay away from the open in a sense. I'd like to this could be about CrossFit, but I think this could be about life more. But we have this cool thing that they give us at work, and it's available for everybody, but I have the privilege of having it called Masterclass. And really cool app where it's like some of the top people that we like, Jocko's on there. And like people love the heck out of him. And he has a thing. And like you were saying, you can learn how to make Italian pizza, and you can learn how to make the best coffee from like the world's best baristas, and like the perfect espresso shot, and like dumb things. But there's a real deep meaning behind each concept. And like for the espresso one, for example, it's like, hey, world barista of 2023. Like I'm going to show you how to make the perfect espresso shot. But the idea behind it is like, the detail. Focus on the detail. Every little thing matters. And like, if you execute every piece of detail correctly, you in turn, that translates into your life. And it's like, they all have a deep meaning. It's not like, I'm going to watch something and learn how to make the best espresso. You gain something from it. But anyway, so
Adam wants to know what's on the dinner menu tonight. Random question from your brother.
On the dinner menu for tonight. That's a good question. I don't know. Probably I didn't barely ate anything yesterday. I think, yeah, it's normal. I think I had
your metabolism's fucked up and you're pre-diabetic.
Thanks, Matt. I don't know. Something on the menu. Ken, what are you going to cook tonight? Crickets. Crickets. But competitors. So we'll keep it sports related and talk about competition.
I mean, competition's in everything, but yeah,
in a mindset, in a different. Yeah, I mean, my job is every job is competitive. It doesn't matter about my job actually. Every job is competitive. Every scape, everything you do in life ends up being competitive. But I don't want to talk about it in a setting of like winning and all of that stuff. I think mindset differently. So I heard this concept from Ben, and I don't know where he got it. Definitely a book. And then I heard similar things to in the masterclass course that I've been taking and listening to about change. And I just think it all equals the same. So he talked about it on the sports side, but it's called internal and external competitors. So it's like, hey, we're going to talk about your mindset. And there's going to be a section that is like, hey, this is inside your head. You're competing against your own mind, your own breath, your own thoughts, your own feelings. And then we have the external, the people around you, the weather around you, the environment around you, the equipment you're using, the people you're surrounded by. Maybe the external competitors are like, in an instance of sales, like people you're competing against. And we'll dig into that, right? I think it's cool. I think it's a cool concept.
Yeah.
So me saying it, what do you hear? What are your thoughts? I got to stop shaking my desk. Sorry, Chad, if you're watching this.
My thoughts are that there's things you can control to a degree and things you can't. I think with external competition, that can be utilized as like a goal or something to strive against, but you can't really, change what's happening from those external factors. So like if it's me, like if we're just looking at it in a real literal sense, it's me versus you in a basketball game, right? Like I can't control, once you shoot the ball, I can't control where that's going, if it's going in or not. So if it goes in, I just got to accept that you just made the shot and move on. And like what I mean by that as being beneficial is I could strive to take my time when I'm about to shoot and be like, I got to be like Luke on this one and make sure I sink this. Like that's a good external competition. And then internally, that's all the stuff that I can control and focus on.
Yeah. So you saying like, hey, I got to make this shot, right? I'm coming up to the 3-point line. Internal competition with your own mind would be like everything going on, like you're feeling like the thought of you going like, I need to shoot this like Luke, or I need to do this, like I need to make my shot look like Kobe.
Or it could be the opposite. Like I could just be way overconfident. Like, I'll just shoot this, no problem. It's gonna go in.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's it. Okay, so that's internal, external competition. But the things that happen, like that get involved in that is like it could be like, hey, you're the best. And if you miss, you start to get in your head of like, fuck, man, like I should.
I made that shot last time.
Yeah, and the spiral effect as you go through this, and I did this in tennis all the time. Like, so this is really simple analogy. It would be like, cool, I had a fucking great forehand, a lot of topspin, a lot of this, but there were so many little minor details that you would just rush, and things like boom, you'd hit 2 good forehands and you make a bad shot, you hit it into the net, and that's the boom, the snowball effect starts, and it's like, fuck, okay, I hit it into the net. How'd I hit it into the net? Like, what? Okay, boom. Then the next shot, you try to hit harder because you're like, I know my forehand's better.
I guess we should bring it back to CrossFit because we do have a lot of listeners for CrossFit. Like, think about it like you're doing a workout that has like a heavy lift in it that before like it's well over your PR, and like, on a good day, like this clean and jerk at 225 is usually like no big thing. But now you're in a workout, all of a sudden you did a bunch of other stuff, you hit that first lift, and you caught your power clean, like it felt the ugliest you've ever done, and now all of a sudden like there's a voice in your head, right? That's kind of the same thing. Now all of a sudden you're like, all right, shit, on this next one, like am I fucked?
But so the internal stuff is just things that you can. The benefit is like when you're competing, life, sports, whatever, you need, if you're focusing on internal things, you're the voice of reason. You need to be able to know what you can control, what you can't control internally. Like that is all you can affect, essentially. It's like anything internal, you're in control of that. The external stuff, you don't have any control over that. Like you can't control if it's fucking freezing. You can't control if the barbell's cold. You can't control if the bar feels a little bit rusted, right? It's not smooth. It's not sliding. You can't control if there's the music is too loud, or if there's no music, or
if the clip pops off.
Yeah, or if the clip pops off. Yeah, exactly. Like those things are out of your control, or like if somebody's near you, or if you feel uncomfortable, claustrophobic, like those are all things out of your control. Like, or if it's a competition setting, you can't control what the person in front of you is doing. They could be screaming and like getting in your head. This happens in sports all the time. Like before the game starts, or like during the game, people talk trash and do things like those are out of your control. You have zero control over it. Like, be real.
And to segue a little bit though, that's kind of the bummer of CrossFit being a business, because like, I think we all need these factors, or getting this exposure to things you can't control. And like, I wish you could program them, but like, it's such a delicate thing, because again, you're not trying to like, I mean, I guess maybe you're coddling your business, but like, you don't want people to just be like frustrated or just like go into that quit mentality, because I mean, like, end of the day, you're just trying to get them to move. But like, it would like it'd be cool to be like, here's the workout, and then like 2 minutes before it's over, be like, actually, that's not it. You're gonna do that whole thing again for another 20 minutes.
Yeah.
In reverse order, or whatever it is, just like a chain. Like, and like, if I play that out in my head of like, I could picture half, maybe even 3/4 of class being like, funny joke, coach, but I'm done.
Yeah. I think.
But like, I feel like as in CrossFit, like there's an opportunity to throw those kind of external things and work on that, of not letting them detract you. But like, will it affect your business? And I feel like, it might affect your business. Like, people might not be down for that.
Explain that a little bit more.
Like, if you like once or twice a week just fucked with people like that, like, I don't know, maybe you just pulled out the hose and sprayed them all with water in the middle of a workout. Like, something you can't control. Like, maybe it rained. Like, you're putting in another factor that you can't, or like you took I don't know, grease, put it on the pull-up bars, like mid-workout.
I get what you're saying. Yeah. But making external changes to, like, I mean, Ben Bergeron again used to do this to his people. Like, there are stories of him like going on trails and throwing sand on them while they're doing things. It's like, that's an extreme. I think there's better ways to train it rather than actually being put into the mix and have to do it. Like, should you do a pull-up bar with grease on the bar? No, you'll fall off and fucking break something. It's like, but training in perfect scenarios is not possible in anything in your life. There is zero opportunity. Like, this is why
so why do we do it in the gym, I guess?
I don't think we do, in the sense. So I programmed a workout last week too. And Wednesday we did a lot of lunges, a lot of heavy lunges. My ass hurt really bad. Thursday, the next day, so maybe it was Tuesday, Wednesday, I forget. Tuesday, Wednesday.
Was the lunges.
Wednesday, the next day, we did 60 wall balls. And a lot of complaints were like, my butt, I can't do this. Why are we doing this? I have to go lighter today. It's like, you don't have control over these things. Like, the point is, like, you don't know what life's going to throw at you. Things are never going to be perfect. Never any minute of the day is it going to go planned correctly. Like, your ideal setting or situation, we talked about this the other day, like, simple as like walking the dogs. Nothing will go the way you want it to, ever. Promise you that.
Yeah.
That's the shitty
part.
But
like, even in CrossFit, what if like, I don't know. There's just so many things you could do. Like, what if you were just like, you gave somebody a weight that you knew they couldn't deadlift, and you were just, that's the weight that you're doing for the workout. Like,
Right.
how do you overcome that external factor? Like, I can't do this.
Yeah, I mean, that's a loss. You can't, like, it's out of your physical demand that you can do.
Yeah.
But maybe they don't know what the weight is. And like, they can do it, but every time they go to get it,
Yeah.
all of a sudden they can't get it off the ground. Then they get scared and they let go. There's going to be settings where if like, you don't like how many times you did it to Kendall a couple weeks ago, you put weight on her bar and she didn't even know it. Remember, it was the snatch day or the complex day, and you put some extra weights on her bar, walked away. She came back, picked it up, lifted it, and we all laughed. I don't know. She still knows. But I think those type of settings you can't control. I think the idea. So when you were saying like the ideal setting,
I think in CrossFit, it's you are in control of a lot of things that you necessarily maybe shouldn't be. You get to pick what barbell you're using. A really good example is the pull-up rig. Like, everyone like has their spot on the pull-up rig, right?
Yeah. I mean, you can do that's two things. You need to condition your thought by trying to challenge yourself to grow and do things that aren't comfortable. But then on a coaching side, that is your job to like to educate them on why we're doing it. Like, hey, no knee push-ups. I'm going to tell you why though. Like, I'm not going to just be the dictator of like, nope, you ain't doing this. You're going to this pull-up bar because I said so. It's like, hey man, for the next month, we're going to try something. Yeah. And I want us to do things that we fucking hate. So for like me and you, like we used to wear victory grips all the time, like every workout. I don't know the last time I put them on my hands.
Yeah.
Like I have not worn.
But if I was like, Luke, in this workout, you have to wear them, you'd probably be fine.
Yeah, I'd be fine. I'd be able to. But if you said to me, hey, you can't, and you also got to go to that rusty bar, I'd be good to go.
Yeah.
Does like do those things have an advantage? Maybe. But
my point 100%, because like you said, life's gonna throw random stuff at you. You're not gonna have your pull up or bar of choice when like, I don't know, a bridge collapse and you're hanging on to something.
Yeah,
like, I think it's the most beautiful, perfect bar.
Yeah. Well, I think even this example, that workout I programmed a couple of weeks ago with kipping pull-ups. Hey, anybody who butterflies and beats everybody in the WOD, now you got to do something that everybody else can do, which is just kipping. And you haven't practiced it in months. Like, that's going to be really uncomfortable. You're not like a lot. And it challenges you as like, right, maybe we don't maybe I don't program WODs that are like super challenging, we'll call it. Like, you look at it and you're like, dude, a fucking 315-pound deadlift for 100 reps is going to be like soul crushing, end of the world. Like, dude, you can make anything really hard. We talked about that last week. But then the other part is like, it's out of your control. Just fucking leave it how it is. Do it and do it really fucking well. And just get better and better and better and better. Like,
that's kind of like also what I was trying to explain for the open workout that we just did. For those that don't know, it was just like box jumps and then clean and jerks, and the weight basically grew to some ridiculous number that only probably games athletes could do. And also like the amount of time it would take you to actually get to the end of the workout was like almost unreasonable. I don't know if anyone actually finished that workout. I'm sure there is, but for the average person, you're not finishing the workout. And like, that's kind of like, and also another good like thing to push against of like,
the games athletes did finish, just an FYI.
I'm sure they did.
Yeah. But
like the average person, like in
the average person, is getting 225 for the guys, and that's it.
Sam says he still did that WOD just fine. He's one like, remember when we did single doubles?
Yeah.
Had a fucking full-on panic attack.
Yeah. Why would I ever in my right life do this? It's like
he struggles with internal competition, dude.
Yeah, so
he's a good external competitor.
And another piece I'd like to pick on, and internal external competition in regard to like, it directly correlates to change. And in CrossFit, that's like getting uncomfortable, and being uncomfortable is like one of our biggest adaptation drivers. Like, you need to do new things and try new things on the regular for you to get better at that stuff. And maybe that change is like power cleans versus squat cleans. That is a difference. Two different things. Or like thumbs around the bar versus not thumbs around the bar. Those are changes that are really difficult. But how would you suggest somebody overcomes those things in a WOD rather than just like do it? Like, that's, I think we're the type A of like, okay, put thumbs around the bar. Why? Because, there's a benefit to it. Cool. Thumbs around the bar. Like, that's how I think. It's like, why am I doing that? Okay, I get it. Cool. Give me a reason. Versus,
That's
a
how you deal
lot.
with your internal
That's how I
competition?
deal with in the gym for sure. I'm not everything. Definitely not everything. But in the gym, it's like, give me a reason. Why am I doing thumbs around the bar? Oh, it's going to make it better. Okay. If you say so, I trust you. I have respect for you. But how would you suggest other people deal with that? And I want you to like try to dig in deeper. As a coach, how are you doing that with people? Everybody has different personalities. Everybody feels a different way. What are you saying to people? How are you getting people to do stuff differently? Or maybe you're not. Maybe you're struggling with that yourself.
What'd you define internal competition as? I guess I'm kind of struggling with that still.
Still, okay.
Yeah.
Internal competition is it is just yourself, right? And as it is like things that you can control. Like you can control your mindset. Maybe you don't have the tools to do it, so therefore you're not controlling it, but you can control it. External competition is things on the outside around you that
But
you
like, give
don't
me
have
examples
control
of that
over.
in CrossFit, for example.
CrossFit. Let's use Fran for the workout. Simple. Let's go really fucking simple. Karen, 150 wall balls for time. What can you control in that WOD?
Your pace.
Hey, here's the WOD. You have to do 150 wall balls. Here's the rules, the set of lists. 150 wall balls. Okay. Can you pull it up? 150 wall balls for time. RX weight is 20 pounds for the guys, 14 for the ladies. And then there's a height that you have to hit. It's going to be 10 feet for the guys, 9 feet for the ladies. Okay. That is the RX standard for the WOD description. Then there's a list of other things. Okay. What counts as a full rep? I need to go full depth and I need to hit the target and I need to hit the wall. It can't just go to the target height. It physically has to hit. Aside from that, there is no other standard, right? That's it. Those are the rules for Karen. So all you can control in your mind is, let's say you're doing it RX. It's competition. You have to. What can you control?
You can control your pace.
Okay, cool.
Control how many times you break it up.
Cool. Things that you have control over.
But I get that part. But I guess where's the, like when you say internal competition, I guess that's where I'm getting lost. Like the competition part of that.
Yeah. So you can push yourself to become better and thrive in a setting if you do things that are different. Like the internal competition is like, okay, I have control over the pace I go. But while I'm doing that pace, I start to get uncomfortable. And I can't breathe. I need to put it down. My arms are burning. Fuck, my shoulder hurts. And I had a shoulder injury. I'm going to put it down. But if I put it down,
I get
people
those.
are going to look
I get
at me.
those all the time. Those are the voices. But like,
yeah,
internally competing, I would assume it's just basically I know my Karen time and I'm trying to beat that. Like
that's one piece of it. No, I think it's deeper than that. I think it's like, what else can I do to push my boundaries? What else can I do to get better? Internal, like remove everything around you. Like you, and maybe like a Karen WOD, there's not a lot you can change, let's say, internally. Like, and maybe you're a person that doesn't get a lot of internal competition or internal thoughts. But now imagine there's 20 people around you. You got me, Sam, and a list of other people in the gym going at you. You drop the ball. Everybody else is going still 1 minute in. I'm 35 reps in. Sam's 36 reps in. Matt did 27 and he dropped it. And he's pacing, walking around. He's pissed. Now he's pissed. He's looking at Sam and he's like, the motherfucker didn't go full depth. I'm watching his hip. And all of a sudden you haven't picked the ball up yet. And you're going. You look over at me and you're like, that didn't even hit the wall. What the fuck? Those are things.
You're getting into external, aren't you?
Yeah, but external things, you can't control that. But now the voices in your head are that internal. That is what you can control. You need to be like, tunnel vision, right? This WOD is to get it done as quick as I can. And I want to win. I want to beat everybody here. I know I can. I'm going to pick this ball up and I'm going to go. If I drop it, cool. I'm going to drop it. 1, 2, 3, back up, go. 10 reps. Okay. I'm going to go 12 reps. All right. I'm just going to keep going. It's fine. I'm breathing. All of a sudden I scream something. You think I'm done. You look over at me. Boom. All of a sudden the squirrel in your head, you're freaking out. You're pissed. So it's a theory. It's a thing back and forth. Like it's the internal competition is the only thing you can control. And again, it's minuscule. It's minor.
So you're saying with internal, it's just the voices in your head is what you're controlling.
The voices in the head, maybe the pace you're going, maybe the way you're approaching the workout, the way you maybe took on the day. Maybe it's like you've been in this place where it's like,
Yeah,
I didn't take
I
my
get
morning
that. I
shit.
guess I just never
I
heard it
didn't take my
said
morning
that
shit, and now
way.
I'm pissed off.
Yeah,
You
I
what?
understand the voices. I just never heard it called internal competition before, I guess.
Oh, okay. We can call it internal conflict.
Yeah, that's
Like,
fine.
if that's a better way to put it. I mean, it's just like, if you wanted to make it more of a sports thing, it's like football, really easy. Internal competition is like, you can't blame the others around you for everything. You only can control so much. Like, okay, you dropped the ball. There's probably a reason.
Yeah.
We can't focus on it. We got to move on. We got to go to the next thing. Like, I can't, like,
And so for coaching though, like I think that there's a real easy one, especially with CrossFit, and that is telling people to slow down, telling people to pause, because everyone gets so caught up in this intensity piece. They just think like, oh, I'm just gonna sprint, like a Nick, for example. Nick, you're still alive, dude. Love you, dude. But like he's gonna come out hot in every workout. And I think like 9 times out of 10, that just ends up hurting his overall workout. Like he just blows himself up.
Yeah.
So, and like, there's so many people in this, like even that I see in class, it's like,
I did it yesterday.
it's like, hey, let's not do the clean and jerk cycle. Let's do them in singles. Let's pause in between each single, take a breath, pick up the bar, like slow down.
I think
like an easy one.
I'm going to challenge you. I heard you say something the other day in the gym, and I wanted to chat. I was going to tell you at that moment, but not my place. But you're a computer science guy. I could just see it in you. You're the methodical piece. Hey guys, maybe today's the day you do 5 clean and jerks. That's what you said. 5 or something. And it was like, maybe you're going to do 5 and then you drop it and then you count 10 seconds and then you pick it back up and you do 5 again. And it's like, I don't think anything wrong with that at all. I'm not saying that, but now this is like a birdie theory. Like, now you just enabled everybody to be like, okay, that's a perfect strategy. Doing 5 reps is the perfect thing. And now some people latch onto that and they always do 5 reps. I'm going to do 5, take a quick second, 5, take a quick second, 5, take a quick second. Again, if we go to a competition setting, the goal is to win. If I drop it on rep 5 and Matt keeps going, Matt wins. There's no way. Like,
if Matt doesn't drop it.
If Matt doesn't drop it, that's true. But in most cases, but then if you're on that same thing, you're like, boom, I'm going to go again. Khan Academy, I missed that. I'm looking at that right now. Anyway, you're going through it and it's like, okay, I'm going to do 5 more reps. Boom. And I drop it. 5 more reps, drop it. 5 more reps, drop it. You as the coach, you did 2 things. You gave the standard. Now, if everybody did it, now that is something that across the board, everybody's going to do it. 5 reps, drop it. 5 reps, drop it. 5 reps, drop it. But instead, maybe it's like you explain a feeling. Like, what if you said to them, like, you should be feeling this. Like, maybe you're going to go unbroken today. That is fucking fine. Maybe you do a small set of reps, but instead of giving somebody a set destination to get to as the coach. And again, I'm victim to this all the time. I'm pretty sure I followed my class and said the same fucking thing the next class.
I don't think you listened to me, but go ahead.
Oh, I know. Why don't you think that?
Because in this strategy, I said, try to do the wall balls unbroken. And I said on the cleans, try to think of something you could stay moving on. That could be sets of 5. That could be unbroken. That could be unbroken on the first set and then 5s on the second.
That's what I just said. But I'm saying maybe instead as coaches, we can help them control their internal competitor with just giving like a better mindset communication. Essentially, it's like instead of saying unbroken, we just remove that from our vocabulary. We just be like, the feeling you should have on this barbell today is that lactic burn. You should feel like your muscles are burning. You should feel like every rep gets harder. And I don't want you to give up on that barbell until you physically cannot continue because of maybe one of those things that you don't have control over. Your lungs at this point, like your grip fatigue, like, because we have a lot of people that are like, okay, I'm going to do singles because I love singles. And it just feels better.
Yeah. And like, that's where like, that's the birdie in you. If you look at your class and you know all of them are going to do singles, then you should probably be like, today we're doing 5s. That's what the bar should be.
Yeah. I mean, and like, again, chat, I'm not here to beat Matt up. He doesn't take my class because it's the last that he works out already. So it's like, I'm sure if you took my class, you'd give me fucking massive amounts of feedback. One of the members, like, I ask for feedback from him because I respect his opinion. And
I honestly really wish I could take class, to be honest.
Yeah, I know you would. It's just like, you're there all day. Why would you want to stay an extra hour like every day? It's a lot.
Well, it's just like, what else am I going to do at open gym?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I agree. But like also, do you really want to be there from 2:15 until 6:30, 6:45? Now it's a long ass extension of your day. I think we need to interview somebody. We need to interview an athlete that can argue our take on it, because there's going to be somebody that's going to sit back. Like we've mentioned his name, so I'll say it. Sam will basically be like, no, that's a bullshit lie. I didn't feel that way on the pull-ups. And then that's where it's like the external people around him can challenge him and be like, but you got in your head saying, my hands ripped because I was doing kipping pull-ups. I kip 24/7. I've done butterflies once in my life 2 years ago. My shoulder hurt. And I was like, oh, guess I'll never be able to do this. And I just kip. I don't rip.
Yeah. I think CrossFit's good at pulling out the internal conflict. I mean, you said it yourself. I know I struggle with the internal voice like a million times. Like, I don't feel good today, or like, I'm tired today. Like that definitely is work you got to put in yourself. I do think like those external things we could definitely, I bet you it'd be cool if we could figure out a way to implement those more.
Well, so what would you suggest anybody else does out there? Like, what's something you do? Because I think you're really good at like dealing with that stuff. Like, what is something you can do to combat that? Right? Somebody's like,
you have to make people do stuff they don't want to do, or like be in conditions that aren't perfect. Like, I love what you're saying about like, and it's true. Like, yes, in CrossFit we're doing functional movements, but to prepare you for the unknown and unknowing. But like, to your point of life, like if you need to do a pull-up, you're probably almost 99% chance you're not doing it from a perfectly straight, nice, well-rounded, fit to the perfect diameter of your fingers to hang on. Like when you need to do that pull-up, it's probably going to be like a piece of broken concrete or a rock that's all jaggedy, and you're in your fingertips and you're trying to pull yourself up over it. Like,
yeah, life or death.
How do you get more of
that?
Death
is on the other end of it.
Yeah.
I think like convincing people. I'm trying to think of somebody that's not in the gym, like somebody who's listening to this maybe, or like sees a clip that, our CMO posts later about like, if you're going to change something, do shit that is uncomfortable that you don't like. That's like my piece of advice. Like, and it's going to suck. Like,
like grips,
if you're not in a CrossFit gym. Yeah.
Stop wearing grips. Yeah. You don't like it. It hurts. Your hands get all calcy and you rip.
Easy way to do it. Leave your grips at home. Come to the gym and do your workout. And again, maybe you're not in a CrossFit gym, but find somebody. Challenge you to find somebody that like in that, maybe it's a Globo gym. Maybe it's like you're going and you're doing your own CrossFit gyms in the garage. Find something that's going to push you to go further. Like the standard, like we do this all the time. We're always like talking. We're like, all right, what if we make the RX? It has to be unbroken for you to put RX. All of a sudden, people change.
Or like the belt. Belt's another. Equipment's just all good, easy ones. Like you can't wear a belt.
Yeah. And just put standards on yourself.
You can't wear a belt.
Yeah. Put your standards on, or find a group. Like that, me, you, and Sam front squatted or back squatted the one day. And like one of the rules was like, we're going to go raw.
Yeah.
And it was like, if I was by myself, I'd probably be like, I'm going to put a belt on so I can go heavier. Because my goal is strength. It's like, but you're going to get strength doing it this way. You just might not lift as heavy as you normally do.
Even from a programming perspective, what if you literally program running every fucking day for a week? Yeah. Like how many people would freak out or just not show up? And I guess that's the part where it's like what we're talking about. Like,
yes, it is.
That's the external competition, or that's the internal versus external. So something externally isn't something you like, that the workout, but internally you're in control of whether you go or not.
Mm-hmm. Well, so that was my example of like doing 2 squat days in a row, essentially heavy lunges and then wall balls the next day.
What the whole week with squats though?
Yeah. Oh, people will be pissed. And there's a piece to it because it's like, well, it wouldn't happen all the time. Like we want you to be able to train every day, but sometimes it's not ideal conditions and you have to go below parallel every day. It is what it is. It's like, hey, don't get caught up in that. That's the point. It's like advice for me would be like, you don't have any control over it. you're not the one programming. Like, just let it be. Do it. Go do it. There's
Another
most
one that's
cases
good that I'm a
something that will
victim
come
of.
good out of it.
Yeah, is time. I'm a
Yeah.
victim of this, and I make excuses for myself, but when you go to the gym, and I know it's not an easy thing for people to do with work and everything, but like there is a 5:30 a.m. class that I guarantee 90% of the gym could go to and probably should. Because again, that's another
I wish I
aspect and
could.
another adaptation for you could.
And I actually just talked to Kendall about this. I was like, hey, maybe Tuesdays, Thursdays when I work home, I'm gonna go to the 6:30 or the 5:30 a.m. class.
Yeah, it's
And then,
brutal. And like I'm
yeah,
telling you right now, I'm uncomfortable just thinking about it because it's so fucking early. Like
tired,
imagine doing that
cold.
open workout
Oh
where
God.
heavy clean and jerks at
Yeah.
that hour.
Yeah.
But it's like that is the stuff your body needs. Like you don't know. I mean, a fucking bomb could go off at 4 a.m. or the neighbor's house could catch on fire and you got to bust in there and like clean and jerk the neighbor up on your
Not even that.
shoulders.
Think of something more realistic. Like, yeah, you just said your house catches on fire.
Yeah.
And your dog, you can't get out the window. I have to pick Zion up, 100 pounds, somehow stay in a strong front rack and step out the window with him.
Yeah.
Or like walk across the roof with him or whatever it might be. Or like get down the steps.
Yeah.
Like, you never know. But aside from that, it's just the tools that I would suggest. Just do things that make you uncomfortable. Try things that are change. Surround yourself with people that will push you to change. And that's, again, get into a gym. I push CrossFit because I think it's such a beautiful thing because we are constantly making you change, whether you know it's change or not.
CrossFit, the methodology is a fucking beautiful thing.
Yeah, I think it's the one. I think it's honestly so you can make it relate with everything in life.
I'm going to be doing it for probably the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Now, from terms of business and where that company is going and things like that, I don't think you need to necessarily agree with everything they're doing or even subscribe to that.
Yeah.
Like if you read the L1 and really fucking absorb the L1, that's all you need.
Yeah, I agree.
You'll see the value.
Yeah.
Just do a master class on it.
You. What do you mean?
Like make a master class on the CrossFit methodology.
And do what with it? Like,
just put it up there. Give it to people.
I don't even know what it would relate to. What do you mean, a master class?
Like CrossFit, the methodology, the tools in there, like applying it to life.
And relate it to life. Yeah, that'd be cool. What else you got? We probably lost every viewer with.
I wanted to talk. Yeah, I know. We're at 107 too. But I wanted to ask you the same question you asked me too, because I was curious where you were thinking. Like, how do you in class handle internal competition? Like, what are some things you can do to help people with that?
I think
I said like something easy, like slowing people down. It's one of them.
I tried this past week and empowering people that they have the tools to be able to do it. And that's the part I'm struggling with. It's like super elementary to me and super uncomfortable because it's like going over to somebody and they have to be receptive to it. If you're not receptive to it, good luck. It's not going to change for you. So my two things would be like, I asked them, like, I'm challenging you to think differently or try this, and then enable them with some sort of tool. Like, I'm not perfect at that stuff. I have so much internal, like yesterday on the rope comps, I was like, all right, for me and Matt are one-on-one. I could definitely push to do 2 reps in a row. Matt could easily do 3 reps in a row. And it's like, well, I'm weighing him down. But then my other thought was like, what's it matter? Like, he's going to push elsewhere hard, or like he could do whatever. It doesn't matter. Maybe he's having a day off, a little bit of a rest day. But I would challenge people to be open-minded to things around them. And the way I'm approaching it is like I go in and I'm like, well, why don't you try doing it differently today? And just like, they'll ask me, what does that mean? Like, hey, normally you do X, Y, and Z. Do the complete opposite today. Like a barbell day. And it's like deadlifts, Diane, or we'll stick with the Karen one since we're already talking about that.
That's where I get lazy, though.
Don't drop the ball. Just never drop the ball. Just keep going. And then when you drop it, if that means you rest for a fucking minute, walk away. I won't let you rest for a minute. I'll make you pick it back up. But I challenge you, just go. Don't fall to victim to like the standard of like, I'm going to do 20 reps and I'm going to do like, the gym. Like, fucking get rid of one day I'm going to hide the whiteboards. Whiteboards are gone. No whiteboards. You got to go. Like that is that is a thing. Like in the games, like they're not going to be like, get a whiteboard and keep track. They're going to be like, you got to finish Murph. It's a lot of reps to keep track somehow. I don't care. Do it. And different. They're competing for fucking thousands and thousands of dollars. So like, yeah, they're going to have score. But like in the gym, imagine if we got rid of the whiteboards.
That'd be nice.
People write down like math equations sometimes.
That could be next. We could talk about that next week too, like just the whiteboard. Since if that could be a whole 15-minute convo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because what they were intended for to where they've gone in the class, like so different. Like we could talk about that. I was gonna say, like, I think I struggle. Like we could use yesterday's workout. Like I fall victim to what's on the TV too. A lot. Like yesterday, I should have done legless rope climbs.
Yeah.
Like just spice it up. Try to feel the same as Luke's feeling on the climbs and Chris's feeling on the climbs.
Yeah.
Like I think that would have been just enough change to make that individualized enough and hard enough for me.
Yeah, because I think yesterday's workout, aside from the rope climbs, I would imagine everything else hurt just as bad for you as it did for everybody.
Yeah.
Like me and you could have done more burpees. Did we need to? No. Should we have? No. We could have gone faster, but we were going pretty damn fast. We were finishing around 30-ish seconds. And
again, like to match Chris, if we wanted to match Chris a little bit more, we could do burpees to target 6 inches, jump a little higher.
Yeah. Yeah. And that literally would have slowed us down.
Yeah.
But it's like, I would imagine most of yesterday's workout was painful for you, aside from like the rope climbs allowed you to recover so much that it made it less painful for you.
Yeah.
Versus like me and Chris, like that was hard. Like there was reps where I was like, ooh, if I'm not staying tight with my legs, my arms are going to give out. Like, and that was my fear.
Yeah.
So like doing 2 in a row, could I have? Yeah. Did I feel safe doing it? No.
Yeah.
Like going up, I was like, all right, my legs are doing all the work now, and the bike fried them.
Yeah. And that's where I get lazy sometimes. It's just like, oh, that's what the workout says. That's what I'm doing today.
Yeah. But maybe
it's I don't need to just do that myself. I need to do that with other people too.
Yeah.
Like Robbie, for example, like he probably should have done legless because he was with Caleb and Ollie.
Yeah.
And they were
like,
dying.
Make it harder,
and he looked fine.
And that's the coach's job to help push you to go a different direction. Yeah. Like, but I would empower people, like,
which is why I really love that no one writes RX or scaled on the whiteboard for the scores, because it's so cool to see like a class that you're just like boom, 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 boom. All these times are like within a minute. It's like, wow, like they all fucking got the same kind of intensity out of this thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Then there's ones like the wall ball day, wall ball cleans. Like I felt like I was moving really slow and couldn't breathe. But in the end of the day, when I look at the score, it was like, maybe I was a bit too fast compared to everybody else.
Yeah.
And it was like maybe like that the feeling I had.
Which I expected that, because I know you can just hold on. That grip strength is incredible. I don't know how you have that with the bum shoulder. Yeah.
I didn't think like I held on that long. Like how many reps did you do in a row?
I did what did I do? I think I did
like 5.
10, 10. Then I did 10, 5, 5, and then I did 5, 5, 5.
That's kind of what I did.
But when I dropped the bar, I was like, I needed a fucking break.
Yeah. Okay. I guess that was the opposite. Like I could pick it up, but yeah.
I know you could hold that thing for a long time, way longer than my group.
And that's so for me, the last piece on the internal piece, that's a thing for me. Like I get lately, the last couple months, every time I do anything, I'm just like, yep, it burns and I'm going to stop and like complain about my shoulder. It's like, dude, you know, it's there.
Yeah.
Just keep going. Or like leave the ego and do lighter shit. Like get better at moving well with like a 14-pound wall ball, maybe 12. Or like you said, hey, let's get a 16. Maybe we get 2 or 3 16s because people need it. Like a 14 to a 20-pound jump is massive.
Yeah.
6 pounds is a lot. But anybody joining in? Anybody want to click the link? Sam?
Sam, dude?
I don't think we have people that watch live. I think our marketing has to grow. Maybe we'll set up a schedule. Maybe we need to be more interesting. Like, you know, our vision was like the new heights, and like those boys have energy. You ain't screaming here, new news.
I could scream. CrossFit corner.
Yeah, like that's the shit you should be doing. We need that.
Hey-o.
I was just saying to Ken, I hate my voice.
Yeah, you gotta accept yourself, dude.
Yeah, I just feel like I'm very monotoned.
You're definitely not monotoned. You always do when you're about to talk about something you feel like is very important, you almost whisper it, which I think was from who told you inflection?
Birdie.
That was Birdie.
Birdie, yeah. You should be reflecting. Really think about reflection.
Inflection.
Yeah, inflection. Like, yeah, his thing was like,
okay, guys, I'm going to talk about the power clean. And it needs to be.
Yeah. yeah, he does do that. And I forgot actually where I did get that, because I do that at work too. Sometimes I'll be on the phone and I'll be like, tell me a little bit more about, like, explain that to me, man. Tell me about that. We're like that's really important.
Well, we know you got to purchase a new camera because this thing is fucked.
Yeah, Cameron and Gaz told me some lights to get. So Logitech sells some lights. I might just go to Best Buy for it.
But I think you should get on Amazon, get those generic ones. But those ones that are like little octagons that light up, that might be cool on the wall on your left.
Behind me?
Just like in a pattern. They're like little stop signs. And
what
they light up
do?
and you can control the colors. So you could do like blue, red.
Yeah. But those are different. I'm talking like a light for like
functional lighting.
Yeah. So we don't look pale or like we don't look yellow. Like we need streaming lights, and Logitech sells some, but none of you guys care about that.
Also, they have those green screens you can attach to the back of your chair.
There's also AI that does it now.
Yeah, but
and apparently it's really good. No, apparently
it's
But there's this one. I think you have to pay for it, but apparently it's good.
Like Zoom's is not good.
Yeah,
it always leaves like the corners and shit.
Yeah, or it like does something weird to your head with the headsets on. Yeah. And then it looks weird and smushy. But we got to get earbuds. But chat, it's great coming to the channel today. Appreciate it.
Long talk.
Yeah, long talk. Next week we'll
let's not make any promises for next week.
Yeah, see kids next week.